Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are lined up and ready to go. Commentators, enjoy this match.
And we are back with a penultimate match of the second day of the Alliance Tournament qualifiers. We have Snatch Victory versus the Space Police, and you're listening to Verona and Brianna Tempest commentating. And Snatch Victory are fielding 3 Gearless, 2 Cormorants, a trio of Ishtars, and a Scimitar.
Space Police is fielding 3 Drakes, a Thrasher, a Ferox, a Scimitar, and 2 Ravens. Haha, Snatch Victory, haha.
Yep, and we have the 1 minute countdown in local from CCP Claw. It's interesting to see a trio of Keelers and a trio of Ishtars. We're going to have a lot of drone spam here, I think. Who's your money on, Brianna?
Well, I'm going to say the Snatches, but you know, like, the Gila is actually a very good boat. This team is basically a very drone-centric team, and you can see that they're actually placed pretty far away from the center of the arena, probably because they're going to use their drones to their full effect. And so I'm going to put my money on them for now, but you know, things could change. The Drakes, if you have some clever piloting to shoot down the drones, it might actually make a huge difference.
Yep, and we can see there straight away the Snatch Victory team deploying a mixture of a hell of a lot of Hammerhead 2s and light shield maintenance, but the Healer, of course, and the Ishtar, remarkably similar ships given their slot layouts and their bonuses to drone damage and whatnot.
Yeah, we can see here the Scimitar on the Snatches team is actually starting to release their light shield maintenance drones, while the entire team is releasing a wave of Hammerheads and Hobgoblins and whatnot, and it's starting to arrive at the Space Police team.
Yeah, not a great deal of damage being dealt here, other than to the Scimitar of the Snatch Victory team. We can see him hovering roughly at about 75% shields there, but he's been well supported by those shield bots and probably his own local tank as well, I should imagine. Just going to try and get a quick look at him. Yep, he has a local tank fitted, in fact, so he should be fine until they get a lot of DPS on him, I should imagine. The Scimitar for the Space Police team actually taking a hell of a lot more shield damage.
He's starting to take some heavy shield damage, and he's I think he's trying to local rep himself. And I'm seeing some beams, some E-War beams here from the Snatch Victory team. I wonder what that could be.
Yep, it actually looks as if they might be damping. I'm not sure. Most of them are out of my range, unfortunately, so I can't see at present. But I can see the special forces of the Space Police team taking a hell of a batter in there in his Scimitar. If they lose him, they're going to be in some quite serious trouble.
Yeah, you might be right or wrong. I think those might be dampeners that they're running, and as you can see here, when the Space Police team start to get a little closer, the Snatch Victory team, they can actually start to fire the weapons, whereas before you could not fire at all, and I thought it was E-War, like ECM, but I guess it was dampeners.
Yep, the only blood so far going to the Space Police, destroying a Cormorant of the Snatch Victory team. There's not really a lot of damage going down. We can see that the Space Police seem to have spread the fire between the other Cormorant, a Gila, and an Ishtar of Snatch Victory. One of the healers deep into shields now.
Yeah. And the Space Police team side, the Scimitar is dipping into armor, which is never good for a Scimitar, as it is a shield tank. And so I think he's trying to get away from the fray, but I don't think he's having too much of a success here as he dips into armor, and it's only a matter of time until he goes, he gets destroyed. And now he's gone.
Yep, and losing the Scimitar is really going to affect them. They're going to have a lot of issues. We're probably going to see the wonderful Turtle Tank and Drakes here, I should imagine, but losing that Scimitar is definitely going to affect their game. We can see actually that the 3 healers of the Snatch Victory team appear to be micro warp drive fitted. They're also receiving support from light maintenance bots as well, so they seem pretty well covered for now. We've also lost an Ishtar as well from the Snatch Victory team.
Yes, it appears to be so, and they've taken Thrasher from the Space Police team, you can see the wave of drones. When they release them at the same time, they just fly to a ship, and you can see it take huge damage. And if it happens to be a frigate or cruiser-sized ship, it's not lasts very long at all, because hammerheads can actually do a lot of damage.
Yep, and I'd just like to say that I love to see Ishtars die, because I have a horrible history with those ships. I absolutely despise them. So the sooner they kill the rest of those two, the happier man I'm going to be honest. I hope they get them down as soon as possible. We can see there one of the healers of the Snatch Victory team. Again, heavy shield damage. He's been supported by light shield bots, but I really don't think he's going to have the ability to hold on to that tank for much longer.
No, not at all. He dips into strike, and if the scimitar pilot doesn't get to him, he's going to explode. And there he goes. One Gila down, 2 Gilas to Cormorant, 2 Ishtars, and the scimitar is left for the Snatch Victory team. And on the other team, we still have 3 Drakes, a Ferox, and 2 Ravens.
Well, in my opinion, it's looking this way, like this is going to swing the way of the Space Police, to be honest. It's quite interesting to see how the really heavy drone setup has fared for Snatch Victory, but again, another one of their Ishtars taking heavy armor damage. It looks as if we're going to lose him soon, so it's, yeah, I'm going to go with the Space Police for this one. It's this Raven setup seems to be relatively solid. They've lost their logistics ship, but they still have, if anything, enough ships on the field with a big enough buffer tank that, you know, the Snatch Victory team are going to be in serious trouble trying to break it.
Yeah, and one of Snatch Victory's Ishtar is now down, so we only have 2 Gilas, an Ishtar, and a Cormorant that's left to deal damage. As the remaining Ishtar is starting to take some shield damage, I believe that the police team is going to start to focus on them, because they're probably very soft. We can see here that the dual setup is actually pretty effective against smaller ships, because you can switch the missile type very easily. You can switch from cruise missiles, have many different types. You can switch to precision missiles for smaller frigate-sized ships, and I think what they're using right now are just run-of-the-mill Caldari Navy missiles, but they're extremely effective, as you can see here, against cruiser-sized ships. And the Ishtar from the Snatch Victory team doesn't seem to be able to snatch victory at all, as he goes down in a fire.
Yeah, well, it looks like we've lost a Cormorant as well from the Snatch Victory team. Interestingly enough, as we were talking about Hammerhead 2s earlier, it seems as if the healers from the Snatch Victory team, the 2 that are left, have actually dropped their Hammerheads, and they've dropped out what appears to be Curator 2s. So it looks as if they're going to try and have a shot at taking this. We can see one of the Ravens there losing a hell of a lot of its shields. We've got the logistics ship still on the field with 1 healer from Snatch Victory, but I just do not think it's enough. It's nowhere near enough, a single healer to drop 4 battlecruiser hulls and 2 battleships, and I think it looks as if the Space Police are going to take this.
Yeah, it looks to be that way, and I think just a few seconds ago, one of the from Snatch Victory actually went out of bounds and probably got blown up by CCP Claw, if I might say so myself.
Yes. CCP Claw and his immense, massive hammer of justice coming down hard on one of the healer pilots, Tycho, from Snatch Victory there, and unfortunately that's put them even in a worse position. You can see there the last healer from Snatch Victory team going down hard. They're only going to have the logistics left soon, which pretty much means it's game over.
Seems like it's already game over for them, as they lose their last Gila, and only 1 scimitar by himself is left. And a scimitar by himself is usually no good to anybody except for people who are killing him. And so as Space Police turns their focus on the scimitar, I think it'll only be a matter of a minute or 2 before the scimitar pilot actually goes down.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of fight left in them, I don't think. Pretty much no offensive capability now, and it's just a matter of mopping up that last logistics ship and it'll be game over.
It's interesting because I think this is one of the first drone-centric teams that we've seen so far in the Alliance tournament this year, and I think, you know, just because they're, I think it could be a good setup if they the right opponents, but when you're up against missile spewing boats, I think it's always not a very good idea, especially if you're and that could be the reason why we don't see them fielded very often in Alliance tournaments.
Yeah, it's just wow. I'm actually pretty surprised. I thought this drone setup would have done really well for Snatch victory. They had 3 solid ships on the field, 3 Guristas hulls. They had 3 Ishtars, although I don't like them. If you want to put them into a nano fit and you want to give them a group of heavies or a group of sentries, then they'll get the job done. You know, they could have fielded the right amount of DPS. They could have fielded heavy drones or sentries and they would have come out on top, I believe. But for some reason they went for the hammerheads initially, and it was a bad call to make. They just couldn't get the DPS down fast enough.
And once the distance closed, I think it was only a matter of time until Space Police just absolutely police them, and then they can't even, you know, like, because once you die, you lose a lot of drone power, and once your teammate actually loses a lot of drone power, then your entire team by quite a bit. And so we can see here the Scimitar is starting to take about 30% at 30% shield right now. He's definitely trying to order away from the missiles. We'll see how successful he gets.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go anywhere in a hurry. He has a couple of Drakes there from the Space Police chasing him down, as the Space Police are proclaiming in local that Snatch victory have indeed been policed. I think they're quite happy with their result. Lots of caps lock going on there. CCP caps lock would be very happy with the situation.
And the last Scimitar from Snatch victory is gone, and we head over to Soundwave.
Thank you very much, guys. Snatch victory losing to Whoop Whoop, the Space Police. Our last match is coming up in about 10 minutes. It's Tormentum versus Star Fraction. This is certainly a high point to end this fantastic evening. Remember that we have 2 more weekends of EVE Online Alliance Tournament coming up. Next weekend we'll find out who we're going to send to the final round. This is going to be all the teams for their second matches. Remember that teams who are beaten today will still have accumulated enough points that they could edge into the final weekend. The final weekend, of course, will be live here from Reykjavik with a full studio, commentators here, and it's going to be more amazing than anything else. We know the World Cup is starting, but this is the Universe Cup. Yeah.